Hey guys, it's Robbie here. It is Sunday, so that does mean it's time for another week's weigh-in, but I also have a lot to go over. I saw my doctor this week. I went back to my psychiatrist this week. My dad has the health update. A lot has happened. All right, good morning, everybody. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. As always, want you guys to comment down below, let me know your progress, how you guys are doing on your journey. It helps me, and I think it helps other people that read your guys' comments as well. This week, I don't even know where to start. I obviously, I'm going to go over my weigh-in, but my dad ended up back in the hospital. I had a kind of a scare with my primary doctor. I went back to my psychiatrist. So let's start with my dad, because when you hear hospital, that can be the scariest. He did end up back in. His heart went back into AFib again. And it's a few day drawn out thing, because he got sent home, he went again, and then he had a procedure, ablation, going on, where they I don't fully understand exactly what they do, but they numb something so that the heart doesn't react and shouldn't go back into AFib. Hopefully that does help. I've heard of it going well, and I've heard of it going not so well. My one friend, she had told me how her grandfather's heart is basically always in AFib now. So fingers crossed that continues to do well. He did come out of it doing wonderfully, and so far his heart has behaved. So no more AFib for the moment. But still scary when all that is going on, and very stressful. So there's that. So my week. Let's just start with last Sunday. I did my weigh-in. I didn't gain. I didn't lose. I did not stick to my plan of not making Sunday a high-calorie day. I did go way overboard, mainly because of emotions. Let's face it. I'm working on it. It's a work in progress, but I did go overboard, and honestly, Monday did not go so well either. Tuesday, though, went very well calorie-wise, because I was busy nonstop. Like I said, I probably wasn't going to do a video on Tuesday. I literally had no time. I got up, I went to my primary doctor. From there, I went to my psychiatrist. From there, I went to work to do somebody's hair. From there, I came home, had dinner, and then had therapy. So I didn't have a moment to myself on Tuesday, so it was easy to stay in. So with that, my primary doctor visit, I'd gone to her, and things went well overall, but it was a slap in the face as far as my weight is concerned, because she did have some worry as far as diabetes goes. She's like, I'm going to check some extra stuff, because, as running my family, that is ultimately what killed my mother. And at my weight, and some other factors, there were some signs that it could have been a thing. And also she had pointed out the fact that I had gained... Sorry, my cat is being extra. Go stop it. Okay, camera settle down. She had pointed out the fact that I had gained 107 pounds since I had first seen her. Since I was at my lowest, which I think was the second or third time after seeing her, a little over a year ago. And that, I knew it. Obviously, I mentioned that I gained 100 pounds back, but in a short period of time. And it just, I'm struggling with that thought process, because it's still so mind-boggling what my choices and medication led to. But anyway, so she did a full panel, I was 5 vials of blood that was drawn to check everything out. But she did say that she would like me to do low carb as far as my diet plan goes for now. And you guys know me, I've never really paid attention to carbs. I paid attention to calories, I paid attention to proteins, but my carbs, I never really cared where they went. So for now, what she did have me do, and what I have been doing since Tuesday, is I don't have an exact number, but basically what my carbs were kind of cutting in half. So like I've been doing a lot of the Atkins TV dinners. Because she did say more Atkins low carb, not keto low carb, because, keto's not healthy for you guys. Sorry to break it to you. Um, and things like, would get like a sub sandwich, but I'd have it wrapped in lettuce, or I'd take it off the bread or whatever, things like that. And it's been going well. I did make like some egg roll in a bowl, and honestly, because I haven't felt like doing the math and I haven't mentally had the time to, I've just been doing like the Atkins things and, eating more meat and vegetables and kind of staying away from bread and pastas and all that jazz. But it's still amazing how carbs are in everything. Like, I mean, most fruits have a lot of carbs. Most, obviously breads and pastas have carbs. A lot of condiments have carbs. Like, I thought I was doing really well one day. I got a salad and I got grilled chicken on it instead of fried chicken like I wanted. And I got all these vegetables in there. And then I got the salad dressing. And it ended up being so high in carbs. But it's a learning curve. I'm learning. It's over the next few weeks, I'm gonna perfect it. Because luckily, with the whole ADHD thing, I could be hyper-focusing on it. And that's kind of what I'm starting to do. So cool. So speaking of that, ADHD, I did go back to my psychiatrist. And I brought my list with me of what my symptoms were. Like literally, it was 3 pages of notes talking about how I was as a kid, how I interact with people and friends in my life, how I, my focus is extremely, inattentive is the technical word. My working memory is horrible. Motivation is very hard for me. Time management is very complicated for me. Everything, every aspect of my life is kind of affected by it. And these symptoms, when you add them all up together, does equal ADHD. And she agreed. She put me on Strattera, and it's a non-stimulant ADHD medication. I was, not gonna lie, I was hoping she would do like the Adderall, because I know I've tried it and it worked. Wasn't supposed to try it. Again, don't recommend that, but it helped so much. Versus Strattera, it's gotta build up in your system. So I've been on that since Tuesday, and I haven't noticed many changes yet. I am tracking. Like I started doing a bullet journal, and no, that's my doodles. But like, so I'm tracking every day any noticeable changes with that. So like, there was one day where I felt like my mind was a little bit calmer and I could focus a little bit better. But other than that, not really any changes except for like dry mouth I get from it. But I'll continue tracking that every single day in my bullet journal. If you don't know what a bullet journal is, I can go over that at some point. Like I just started it, so mine's not fancy by any means. But it's really cool because for somebody that is extremely unorganized, I end up having like 20 journals. Okay, not 20, like 3 or 4 journals where I'm tracking, different things, and then I lose them or whatever. And I wrote this down somewhere. What journal is it in? But like with a bullet journal, you make your own index. And so like you put on there indexes, pages 1 through 4. And then Strattera tracking is page 5. Doodles is page 7. And anything else. So like when I say I could just flip to the middle of here, because I went through and I numbered all the pages. So like say I go to page 23 and I just, decide to write something about my weight or a recipe or anything I want to, I can put it there, and then as I just flip back to my index and write, this is on page such and such. And if there's multiple pages of it, you can just do comma this. So like I have a doodle page. Chances are there's gonna be another doodle page. I can do that. So either way, it's cool. Like they're fun. Either way, so I did that, and I felt relieved that she understood, and I'll go into more detail because I realize that I am like 10 minutes into this video. So I'll go into more detail later about how realizing the ADHD thing has affected my mental health over the years. I think I'm going to actually do a video on that. Let me know if you're interested, but I'm going to probably do it anyway. But anyway, let's get into my weigh-in. It is, I did do well. I am happy with my weigh-in results this week, despite having the rough start, because like those first few days, my weight obviously went up because of the amount of calories I was having. But switching to low carb and continuing to track my calories helped a lot. And when I do say low carb, I will clarify that I am doing net carbs, not just carbs in general. So my starting weight, I'm going to put them all here. My starting weight was 388.6. And last week, my weight was 381.2. Remember, I was a little bit sad because I didn't gain anything. I didn't lose anything, but I didn't gain anything, so that was a win still. But this week, I am 377.2. So that means I am down 4 pounds this week, and for a total of 11.4 pounds off. So that is great. My weight loss is progressing, and I feel like, especially by making things a little bit more complicated by adding in the carbs, it's actually making me pay attention more, which does take more energy, but it takes a little bit more focus, and so it's easier to stay on track, if that makes sense. Because if I'm just paying attention to calories, then it's almost like it's not structured enough. But if I get too structured, then it gets overwhelming and I can't do it. But because I am trying to keep the protein high, and sometimes when you're doing low carb, fat does want to go high. Like, I mean, all right, cool, protein, let's get sausage. Well, sausage also has fat. Things like that makes it a little bit complicated, but I'm learning. And if you guys have any tips, and I'm sure there's other YouTubers that I'm going to check out that have tips on low carb dieting, let me know, especially Atkins style, not keto style. But yeah, I think it's a progress. And as I actually perfect how I'm doing this, I'll at a later date give you the exact, like, how many carbs a day I'm having. It's not extreme like 23 or anything like that. I have a goal of like around 60 net carbs a day. And I've been staying pretty close to that, like usually under it. I don't think I've ever gone over it. But it's not an exact, and I don't know exactly what I want to do, because when I do, like, I downloaded the Atkins app, it wanted me to start at week 1 at 23 carbs. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Even having like 3 Atkins TV dinners a day, which are small. So I need a lot more than that because they're like 300 calories. And I, can have like way more calories than that, or need to run this whole body. Even with like doing that, I was going over that net carb. So that's too hard. I mean, basically, it's just too hard. And I don't feel that it's fully necessary, especially with like, halfway through the week switching to low carb, and I was able to end the week with 4 pounds off. So I'm kind of making up my own rules. And that's kind of what we got to do. Or that's kind of what I got to do to get the goals that I want. And it's working. So I'm going to use it until it doesn't work, basically. Yeah. So that's all I got. I do want to point out that my shirt is super cute. It's kitten nuggets, which kind of makes me a little bit sad because, like, it makes me think of chicken nuggets. Obviously, that's the goal. And the fries are on there, and that's all carbs, and I can't have carbs. But it is really cute. Plus, I threaten Ghost when he's acting up that I'm going to turn him into a kitten nugget. Anyway, that is all I've got for you guys today. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I will talk to you either Tuesday, if not, definitely Sunday.